Today in the show, I'm doing a comic book PSA on the Teen Titans and the Teen Titans. I do lots of videos on the Teen Titans, particularly the comic book Teen Titans. I love the Titans a lot. I've been reading them since 1994, which is obviously a long time. I have every single issue of the Teen Titans going right back to their first run, so to say my obsession with this team is small would be an understatement. I know this team inside and out. Because of that, I'm going to be very blunt when I say this, but I know you can handle it. Listen to me when it comes to videos on the Teen Titans, because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this team. So in every single one of my videos about the Teen Titans, I see comments about the cartoon, and that's natural. I kind of expect that. But then I see kids insisting that the Titans only ever consisted of Raven, Beast Boy, Cyborg, Robin, and Starfire, which is a far shot from the truth. In fact, in the original run of the Teen Titans, the lineup consisted of Wonder Girl, Robin, Kid Flash, and Aqualad. It wasn't until their second run in the 80s where the lineup consisted of a Changeling, who all of you know as Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire, Cyborg, Robin, Wonder Girl, and Kid Flash. It also wouldn't be long till Aqualad and Speedy joined the team. So while the cartoon lineup wasn't far off from the comics, it wasn't accurate to what the comics were. In fact, my obsession with the Titans goes as far as knowing the fact that when they made the Robin for the Teen Titans cartoon, they didn't look at the comics at all. They just wanted the cartoon Robin to be as cool as possible, which is why the Robin in the cartoon never acts like he does in the comics. I mean, even look at Raven. In the cartoon, she was this edgy, sassy goth girl that used her powers by saying Azarath Metreon Zinthos. In the comics, she has never said Azarath Metreon Zinthos. Raven in the comics, in my opinion, was far superior because she represented something that's much more relevant to this world, depression, which is something we all need to be aware of. But I go over that in her own video called On Raven Depression, which I've linked down below. Probably the biggest character change when the comic book went over to the cartoon was Starfire. I see kids comment all the time how they just wish Starfire acted in Red Hood and the Outlaws how she did in her original way. Starfire has never acted in the comic books how she did in the cartoon. Let me explain. Starfire in the cartoon was innocent in the bubbly way, in the shy way, in the way that she was very self-conscious and very happy all the time. Starfire in the Teen Titans comic books was innocent in the sense that she felt every emotion so strongly. Every single emotion that you could imagine, she felt it so intensely, and it was really sweet to read when she fell in love with Dick Grayson. But an emotion that she felt quite frequently towards Dick Grayson was lust. Starfire was a very sexual creature in the comics. She outright says in the comics that her people are very accepting of sex and sexuality. In fact, I distinctly remember one scene, I think it's in issue number 2 of the 1980s run, where Starfire doesn't understand why women need to wear bikinis because they hardly cover anything up, so they can't offer any protection whatsoever. And Donna Troy just responds with, oh, it's to stop the boys from going insane. And Starfire still doesn't understand because obviously you can see the outline of everything anyway. Keep in mind that this was back in the 1980s when men wore swim briefs more commonly than swim shorts. So obviously Starfire could see everything that Dick Grayson had to offer as well. I'm not going to go over every single character, but you get the point. None of the characters act in the comics how they did in the cartoon. The cartoon really turned the characters into archetypes rather than fully fleshed out individuals, which I hate to say, but it's true. Why am I bringing this up? Well, over the past few weeks, a series of individuals have come to my Teen Titans videos saying that they refuse to ever read the comic book version of the Teen Titans because in their point of view, it doesn't portray the characters accurately, even though the comic books came first, so using that logic, it's the cartoon that is inaccurate. The only thing the cartoon did that was in the comics was the storylines from the comics. You're actually able to watch the cartoon and say, okay, that comes from that issue, that comes from that story arc, and yet that comes from the 1960s run very easily if you know the Titans very well. And it was done with a lot of respect for the source material. Not just to the Teen Titans, but to the Doom Patrol as well. But the comics were very adult, and the cartoon was going to be aimed at children, which is why all the characters were turned into archetypes, because it's much easier for a child to relate to an archetype than it is a fully fleshed out person. The one particular phrase that I absolutely hate from this particular community that's been finding my videos recently is that they prefer the original Teen Titans, and when they say that, they mean the cartoon. They don't mean the comics. Even though if it wasn't for the comics, they wouldn't have the cartoon. So they should be respecting the source material to the T. If you have never read a Teen Titans comic and would like to after this video, and you're worried that you don't know where to start, stop thinking about that. Just jump into the latest run. Go to your local comic book shop or even go on Comixology and get all the Teen Titans comics that you can. Yeah, you're gonna be confused for a while, but when aren't you when you're starting something new? With comics, the moment that you think, oh my god, where should I start? You're already overthinking it. Just start, it doesn't matter where. As Comic Book Girl 19 said in her 2015 trailer, embrace the chaos! The cartoon was very limited, and lots of kids are complaining that there wasn't enough of it and they want another season. How about read the comics? The comics lasted a much longer time than the cartoon, and there's a lot more to read. I've put links to every single run of the Teen Titans down below, so you can read the comics for yourself. I like the cartoon, don't get me wrong, but trust me when I say the comic book is so much more superior than the cartoon. The storylines are amazing, the characters are brilliant in every single way, and you just cannot get enough of them. My favorite run is the 1980s run on the Teen Titans called The New Teen Titans. Okay guys, that is it for today. So what other adaptation source material do you feel like deserves people's respect? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking out my Patreon so I can make bigger and better and more history videos, and also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.